Kron Gracie versus Cub Swanson. Now, I had come and talked to you guys a week ago asking, is pure jiu-jitsu enough for Kron? And by the way, he wasn't even that decorated in jiu-jitsu. He didn't do the Abu Dhabis. He didn't do some of the IBJJFs. I got lit up. I got lit up because apparently he's a medalist. I had it wrong. All right, fine. What do you think? I don't have anything better to do than sit around and memorize a guy's records? All of a sudden, we're going to let the truth get in the way of Chael telling a good story? I'm kidding. I had it wrong. Much better accomplished medal-wise at jiu-jitsu than I knew. So, Kron comes out. Now, I must say, if anybody did see that piece and thought that I gave Kron a hard time, that you did not listen to the message. I just had that one factor. I was very big on Kron. I was very big on the lineage. I was very big on the pressure and the family name that he was bringing into this new era of MMA. Not what the Gracies did. The Gracies did not believe in the round system, the breaking guys apart. It was to look continual. It was to look as close to a street altercation as it could, where you don't get separated and sent back out there. So it was different, but there's pressures on Kron, and there's also an immense learning curve that he went through and succeeded. He went into this fight undefeated. He deserves a lot of praise for that. And that was my message, by the way. But when he was coming in here with Cub, it is fair for me to say that it is different when you are a specialist, and he is still currently a specialist. He's not an MMA specialist. He's becoming one. But he's not yet, and that was the observation that I made, because when you look at Cub Swanson, if you look at the record and the fact that he was on a 4-fight script, you are going to be so incredibly misled. That's simply not what happened. Cub went out there, fought his ass off at 145 pounds, which is the hardest weight class the sport has ever seen. You could argue 155, and I would listen to that argument. But I think we can agree. There's going to be times that you're going to lose 3-4 fights, which means you haven't won a fight in 2 years. And you can still then come out and get the jump on an undefeated young prospect. You could still go on a title run. It's very common, particularly at those weight classes. You won't see it as much at heavyweight. If a guy loses 4 in a row at heavyweight, and some of those were finishes, history says he has likely seen his better days, but that's not, I watched all of Cub's fights. That I could not come away with that impression that Cub was on his way out the door. It was a two-man sport. And when I was watching the way Cub was fighting him, it was so smart. He was so smart with his footwork. Oh, he had some head movement in there. He looked like a pro boxer. But he was also doing some stuff that I've only seen Dominic Cruz do, in terms of throwing that right hand, but getting the hell out of the way so that the guy can't hit you back. Coach Clayton used to talk about this to me all the time. And he would always call it robbing a store. After you rob the store, you don't stick around and wait for the cops to show up. You get out of there. There was always a joke he'd make, but he'd make a joke so that I'd remember it. And that's what Cub was doing. Cub was never hitting a target and then looking at his work and going, oh, wow, look at what I just busted him in the nose. Never. He was hitting and he was gone. Kron has to now readjust. Cub's now cutting a new angle, hitting him the other way and stepping out that way. I've really only seen Dominic Cruz do that technique to that level and be able to be consistent with it over the duration of an evening, like Cub did. And there was also a meanness. Before anybody was getting ready to write Cub off, I was begging you, if you were going to handicap this thing, you got to understand, you're in there with a mean son of a bitch. He wants to hurt you. He wants to be in that cage. For some guys, it's an act. For some guys, it's a sport, and for some guys, it's a profession. For some guys, it's what they want to do. Those are rough guys. They're few and far between. Robbie Lawler comes to mind. It's these kind of guys. Cub Swan, everything he did, you could see it in his face. Oh, it was all designed to hurt. Boom, and Kron was taking it all. Kron was coming forward. Kron looked tougher than hell. Absolutely tougher. Now, I thought that fight could have gone either way. I really thought that Cub won that fight, but I wasn't sure they were going to award the fight to Cub. It was that close of a fight. I think Kron got himself in trouble by pulling guard. Because right or wrong, and it's likely wrong, but right or wrong, when you are pulling guard in a stand-up fight, you are alerting to the judges that you are not happy with the way the fight is going, that you want to take it to another realm. Now, the reason that could be wrong is strategically, Kron may have just wanted to go to the ground. He was looking for ankles. He was bucking hips. He was looking to get reversals. He was starting to lock some legs. He was looking to take the back. I mean, he was looking to advance position. He was not going down there and being lazy or going down there to get a rest. Not at all. But right or wrong, when it's a stand-up fight and the judges must base this on what they saw, which is 14 minutes of stand-up in a 15-minute fight, and one guy is signaling, I don't want to be here, the judges are likely to tip their hat in the other direction. That is my sense of that. I saw the punch stats come out after the fact. Cub did land more strikes. He did throw more strikes. It was close. It's like 500 punches between the two of them. They got fight of the night. Everybody's stock went up. Kron Gracie's a tough son of a bitch, but Cub Swanson is not done. That was a false narrative. You never should have fallen for that. You never should have stared at the record. You should have watched his contest. That's my 2 cents. It was a great match.
Uncle Jill, there's no bad guy like Uncle Jill. Never lost, not even